how we came to Geneva, how we arrived, and how we came to the decade of Indigenous people is a long story, and very few people know about the early start of it. So that's where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to take us back to the beginning and what brought us up to the time of Geneva when we first traveled there in 1977, and then to the decade.
September 20th, 1977. About 100 delegates from 15 countries of North, Central, and South America crossed the threshold of the United Nations in Geneva. They were led by the International Indian Treaty Council, the first indigenous organization to obtain the status of non-governmental organization at the UN. The delegates, representing nearly 20 million Indians, brought out very clearly during the conference the four issues of greatest importance to them all, those of nationhood, land rights, genocide, and self-determination.
When we arrived in Geneva, a Swiss official looked at me and he says, "Are you a real Red Indian? Why are you here?" And I said, "A Red Indian like in the storybooks?" And he looked at me for a while and he said, "Well, maybe, perhaps." And as we looked at each other, we realized that this was going to be a long encounter. When we arrived, our long hair, ribbons, bright colors, support a stereotype. But at the same time, they weren't prepared for our intelligence, for our intensity, and for our mission. And so when we greeted each other, we looked across the table for the first time, we both knew that this was going to be a long encounter and that we're both going to learn a lot from both our camps. And so that's how we arrived.